Hey guys, welcome to the another video. My name is Mohit. Welcome to my channel English Podcast.
The channel that helps you improve your English while learning something new and useful. I'm so happy you are here today. Whether you are listening from home, on the bus, or while walking, thank you for joining me. This is a space where you can practice your English listening and speaking skills, and at the same time, learn new ideas to help you in life. In today's episode, we are going to talk about how to be more creative and how you can boost your creativity. You might think that creativity is only for artists, musicians, or writers, but I am here to tell you that creativity is for everyone. You don't need to be a painter or a singer to be creative. Every person, including you, has creativity inside. You just need to know how to find it, how to grow it, and how to use it in your daily life. Why is creativity important? That's a great question. Creativity helps you in many areas of life. For example, it helps you solve problems, think of new ideas, and make tasks more fun and interesting. When you are creative, you can handle challenges better and come up with smart solutions. Creativity also makes you feel happier because you can express yourself in new ways. It helps you at school, at work, and even in your personal life. When you grow your creativity, you grow your confidence too. In this episode, I will guide you through some simple and clear steps to help you become more creative. We will start by talking about what creativity really is. Then we will look at why creativity matters and how it makes your life better. After that, we will explore what stops us from being creative, because sometimes we block ourselves without even knowing it. Don't worry. We will also learn practical tips on how you can boost your creativity every day, even if you are busy. Finally, I will share some simple creative exercises you can try at home. And at the end, we will do a practice speaking section where you can repeat some key sentences after me to improve your English speaking skills. So, get ready. This episode is not just about listening. It's about learning and practicing. Together, we will unlock your creative power and help you become someone who sees the world with fresh eyes. Thank you again for listening to Code Your English. Let's begin this exciting journey into creativity together. What is creativity? Understanding creativity. Let's now talk about what creativity really is. Many people think creativity is only about art, music, or writing. When they hear the word creative, they imagine a painter making beautiful pictures, a musician playing a song, or a writer working on a book. But creativity is much, much bigger than that. Creativity is not only about making art. It is about thinking in new ways. It is about finding new solutions, trying new things, and looking at the world with fresh eyes. In simple words, creativity means using your imagination to do something new or different. It can be something big, like inventing a new product, or something small, like changing the way you cook your breakfast. Creativity is when you let your mind play, when you allow yourself to explore ideas, even if they are not perfect or finished. It's not about being the best or the most talented. It's about enjoying the process of making, trying, and thinking. Think about your daily life. You are creative when you solve a problem in a smart way. For example, imagine your umbrella breaks, but it's still raining. You don't just sit and wait. You look for a solution, maybe using a plastic bag to cover your head, or sharing an umbrella with a friend. That's creativity. You are creative when you cook a meal using whatever you find in your fridge. Maybe you don't have all the right ingredients, but you mix things in a new way and create a tasty dish. You are also creative when you decorate your room or pick out clothes for the day. Even when you tell a funny story or joke to your friends, you are using creativity to make people laugh. Creativity also shows up in school and work. When you write a school essay or make a class presentation, you use creative thinking to organize your ideas. At work, if you think of a faster way to do a task or find a new way to help a customer, you are using creativity. So, you see, creativity is not something only artists or musicians have. It's something everyone has, including you. Some people believe they are not creative because they don't paint or sing, but that is not true. Every person has the ability to think creatively. It's a natural part of being human. Creativity is not a special gift only for a few people. It is a skill that can grow when you practice and use it. Another important thing to understand is that creativity is not about being perfect. Sometimes we stop ourselves from being creative because we are afraid we will make mistakes or look silly. But mistakes are part of the creative process. In fact, many great ideas come from trying something, failing, and then learning from it. So, if you want to be more creative, you need to give yourself permission to play and permission to fail. Also, creativity is not just for big projects or big moments. You can practice creativity in small ways every day. When you change your routine, when you listen to new music, when you read a new book, or even when you talk to someone with different ideas, you are opening your mind and giving space for creativity to grow. Sometimes, creativity also means combining old ideas in a new way. You don't always need to make something completely original. You can take two things that already exist and put them together in a fresh, fun way. For example, someone once thought of putting a phone and a camera together. Now, we all use smartphones. That's a creative idea built from two old ideas. Remember, creativity is not about waiting for a big idea to magically come to you. It's about playing with small ideas every day, trying new things, and staying curious. It's about asking, what if I did this differently? Or, how can I improve this? When you keep asking these questions, your creative mind stays active. So, as you can see, creativity is everywhere. In your home, in your work, in your school, and inside your mind. You don't need to wait to become an artist or a musician. You can start being creative today, right where you are, with the things you already do. In the next part of this episode, we will talk about who is creative. I want from you to remember this. You are already creative. You just need to notice it, believe in it, and practice it. Creativity is part of you, and together, we are going to make it even stronger. Who is creative? Understanding creative person. Now, let's talk about who is a creative person. Many people think that only certain people are creative, like artists, musicians, writers, or inventors. But that is not true. In simple words, a creative person is someone who thinks in new ways, finds fresh ideas, and solves problems in smart or different ways. And guess what? That can be anyone, including you. A creative mind is a mind that asks questions, plays with ideas, and looks for new solutions. It's not only about painting or writing songs, it's about the way you look at the world and how you handle everyday things. Let's think about some everyday examples. Imagine you work in a shop or a market. One day, you notice that customers often can't find a certain product. You decide to move the product to a better place or design a small sign to help people find it. That's creative thinking. You saw a problem and found a smart, new way to fix it. Or maybe you are a student and you need to give a school presentation. Instead of just reading from your paper, you decide to add a picture or tell a short story to make your talk more interesting. That's creativity. You are using new ideas to make something better. Designers, for example, are creative people who think of new products. Maybe they design a new type of chair that is more comfortable, or they create clothes that people will love to wear. But designers are not the only creative people. Chefs who create new dishes, teachers who find fun ways to explain lessons, parents who make up games for their kids. All of these people are using creativity every day. It's important to understand that creativity does not only belong to special people. We sometimes think, oh, I'm not creative because I don't paint or write music. But creativity is not limited to art or music. Every time you solve a problem, improve something, or try something new, you are using creativity. You don't need to be famous or talented in art to be a creative person. You just need to be open to new ideas and ready to explore them. Even people who work in very logical jobs, like engineers or doctors, need creativity. Engineers must find new ways to build things. Doctors must find new ways to help patients. Creativity is a part of many jobs and activities, not just artistic ones. In fact, you can be creative at home too. Maybe you find a faster way to clean your room, or you think of a new way to organize your clothes. Maybe you come up with a fun activity for your family or friends. All these small things show that you have a creative mind. So, when we talk about a creative person, we are talking about someone who is curious, who asks questions, who plays with ideas, and who looks for better ways to do things. That's all it takes. And remember, everyone can be creative. You don't need to wait to become an artist. You are already a creative person in your own way. In the next part of this episode, we will talk about why creativity is so important in life. You will learn how it helps you, makes your life better, and brings you more joy. Why do we need creativity? Why being a creative person is important in life. Let's now talk about why creativity is so important in our lives. You might ask, why do I even need creativity if I'm not an artist or a musician? Well, the truth is, creativity helps you in many areas, at work, at school, and in your personal life. It's not just about making art. It's about making your life better, easier, and even more fun. First, let's look at work and school. No matter what kind of job you have or what subject you study, creativity helps you solve problems. Imagine you are at work and you face a big challenge. Maybe your team has a tight deadline, or something is not working as planned. If you can think creatively, you can find smart, new solutions. Maybe you find a faster way to finish the task, or you suggest a fresh idea that nobody else has thought of. That makes you a valuable person in your team. At school, creativity helps you learn better. When you do a project or write an essay, you can use creative thinking to organize your ideas, make your work interesting, and stand out. If you are studying something difficult, creativity helps you find new ways to understand it. Maybe by using drawings, stories, or examples. Creative thinking makes learning easier and more enjoyable. In your personal life, creativity is just as important. It helps you handle small, everyday challenges. For example, if you want to save money, you might think creatively about how to cook cheap meals or plan fun activities without spending too much. If you want to surprise a friend or family member, creativity helps you come up with a meaningful gift or plan. But creativity is not only useful, it also makes life more fun. When you allow yourself to be creative, you open the door to play, imagination, and excitement. You might try a new hobby, like painting, cooking, or writing. You might explore new places or meet new people. All of these experiences make your life richer and more colorful. Creativity adds joy and surprise to your days. Another big reason why we need creativity is that it helps us grow as people. When we try new things and explore new ideas, we learn more about ourselves. We discover what we enjoy, what we are good at, and what we can improve. Creativity pushes us to go outside our comfort zone. It teaches us not to be afraid of mistakes because mistakes help us learn. Creativity also makes us stronger and more confident. When you use your creative mind and see your ideas work, you feel proud. You believe in yourself more, You become a person who can handle change, who can face problems, and who can bring fresh energy to every situation. That's powerful personal growth. So, as you can see, creativity is not just for special moments or special people. It is something we all need in our daily lives. It helps us at work, in school, and in personal relationships. It helps us solve problems, enjoy life more, and keep growing as human beings. Creativity is one of the best tools we have. And the good news is, we all have it inside us. In the next part, we will talk about what stops us from being creative. Because sometimes we block ourselves without even knowing it. But for now, keep this in mind. Creativity lives inside all of us. It lives inside you, and you can grow it by using it every day. Common blocks to creativity. What stops us? Now let's talk about something really important. What stops us from being creative? Even though everyone has creativity inside, many people feel like they can't use it. They think, I'm just not a creative person, or I have no good ideas. But the truth is, we all face common blocks or problems that make it harder to be creative. Let's explore some of these blocks together and understand that they are completely normal. One big block to creativity is the fear of making mistakes. Many people are scared of doing something wrong or looking silly. They think, what if my idea fails? What if people laugh at me? This fear stops them from trying new things. But here's the thing. Creativity always involves some risk. You have to be ready to make mistakes and learn from them. Nobody creates something perfect on the first try. Even great artists, inventors, or writers make mistakes. They just keep going. So, if you feel scared of failing, remind yourself that mistakes are a natural part of the creative process. Another common block is negative thinking. This happens when you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this. Maybe you compare yourself to others and feel small. Negative thoughts can kill creativity very quickly because they make you stop before you even start. But remember, creativity is not about being the best or being perfect. It's about exploring, trying, and enjoying the process. Everyone has their own way of being creative, and your ideas are just as valuable as anyone else's. Stress and too much pressure can also block creativity. When you are tired, worried, or under a lot of pressure, your mind becomes narrow. You focus only on getting things done quickly, and you don't have the space to think of new ideas. Have you ever noticed that good ideas often come when you are relaxed? Like when you are taking a walk, having a shower, or resting. That's because creativity needs space and time. If you are always busy and stressed, it becomes hard to let your creative mind play. Sometimes, we block our creativity simply because of old habits. We get used to doing things a certain way, and we stop looking for new ways. For example, you might always follow the same routine at work or in your personal life, and you never stop to ask, is there a better way? Habits can be helpful, but they can also stop us from seeing fresh possibilities. So, it's important to sometimes step back and challenge our usual ways of thinking. Another block is the belief that creativity is only for special people. As we talked about before, many people believe that only artists, musicians, or inventors are creative. If you think that way, you might stop yourself from trying new things because you believe it's not for you. But creativity is for everyone, in every area of life. You don't need permission to be creative. You just need to give yourself the chance. Finally, lack of confidence is a big block. Even when we have good ideas, we sometimes hold them back because we think, who am I to share this? Or, what if people don't like it? But confidence grows when you start small and let your ideas out little by little. The more you practice, the stronger your creative voice becomes. So, if you face these blocks, fear, negative thinking, stress, habits, or low confidence, please know you are not alone. Everyone faces them. The good news is, once you understand these blocks, you can start to gently break them down. In the next part, we will talk about how to unlock your creativity and bring more creative energy into your life. How to boost your creativity. Practical tips. Now that we've talked about what creativity is, why it's important, and what blocks it, let's focus on something very useful. How to boost your creativity. Many people think creativity is something you either have or don't have, but that's not true. Creativity is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Today, I want to share 5 simple but powerful tips that can help you grow your creative mind. The first tip is, take small breaks. You might think that working harder and longer will bring more results, but actually, your mind needs rest to work well. When you take a break, your brain has time to relax and make new connections. Have you ever had a great idea while taking a walk or after a good night's sleep? That's because your creative brain works best when it's not under constant pressure. So, during your day, allow yourself small breaks. Step outside, stretch, listen to some music, or just breathe deeply for a few minutes. You will be surprised how much these small moments of rest can refresh your creativity. The second tip is, try new things. One of the easiest ways to open your mind to new ideas is by stepping outside your usual routine. This doesn't mean you have to do something big or crazy. Even small changes can make a difference. For example, try cooking a dish you've never made before, listen to music from a new culture, visit a place in your town you've never seen, or learn a small skill you've never tried. When you expose yourself to new experiences, your brain gets fresh material to work with. New sights, sounds, tastes, and activities help you see the world in new ways, and that's where creative ideas come from. The third tip is, keep a creativity journal. This is a simple but powerful practice. You don't need to be a great writer or artist to keep a journal. Just take a notebook or a small diary, and every day write down your ideas, thoughts, dreams, or even small drawings. You can write about something interesting you saw today, a problem you're trying to solve, or a fun idea you'd like to explore. The important part is to do it regularly. When you write or draw every day, you train your brain to notice ideas and hold on to them. Over time, you will see how many creative thoughts you actually have. And you'll have a record you can look back on for inspiration. The fourth tip is, surround yourself with inspiration. Creativity doesn't happen in an empty space. You need to feed your mind with things that excite you, challenge you, and make you curious. For some people, inspiration comes from books, art, or music. For others, it comes from nature, travel, or interesting conversations. Pay attention to what makes you feel energized and inspired, and make time for it. Spend time with creative people who can share new ideas with you. Read books that open your mind. Go for a walk in nature and notice the colors, shapes, and patterns around you. The more you surround yourself with inspiring things, the more your creative mind will wake up and start to play. The fifth tip is, be kind to yourself. This is maybe the most important tip of all. Many people block their creativity because they judge themselves too harshly. They think, this idea is stupid, or I'm not good enough, or other people are more talented than me. But creativity needs kindness and patience. You have to allow yourself to make mistakes, to try things that don't work, and to learn along the way. Remember, creative people are not perfect. They are just brave enough to explore and experiment. So, when you are working on something creative, speak kindly to yourself. Celebrate your efforts, not just your results. Be proud of your progress, no matter how small it seems. By following these 5 simple tips, taking breaks, trying new things, keeping a creativity journal, surrounding yourself with inspiration, and being kind to yourself, you can slowly but surely unlock more of your creative power. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start small and enjoy the process. Creativity is not just about making something new. It's about learning, growing, and seeing the world with fresh eyes. Daily creative exercises. Simple practices. Now that we have talked about tips to boost creativity, let's move into something even more practical. Daily creative exercises you can try every day. These are small, simple practices that you can easily fit into your daily routine. You don't need to spend hours on them, and you don't need to be a professional artist, writer, or musician. These exercises are for anyone who wants to keep their creative mind active, curious, and playful. Think of them as small workouts for your creativity muscle. The more you do them, the stronger and more flexible your creative thinking will become. The first exercise is, write a short story. You might think, but I'm not a writer. That's okay. This exercise is not about writing a perfect story. It's about letting your imagination play. Every day, sit down for just 5 or 10 minutes and write a short story. It can be very simple. Maybe just a few sentences or a small paragraph. You can write about anything. A funny thing you saw today, a dream you had last night, a made-up adventure, or even what your pet was thinking during the day. The goal is to free your mind and let ideas flow without worrying too much about grammar, spelling, or making it perfect. By doing this daily, you train your brain to become more comfortable with creative thinking and expressing new ideas. The second exercise is, draw or sketch something. Again, you don't need to be an artist or know how to draw well. This is about expressing your thoughts visually and paying attention to the world around you. Take a notebook or a piece of paper, and every day, draw something small. It could be the cup of tea on your table, the shoes by your door, the tree outside your window, or even something from your imagination, like a robot cat or a flying house. You can also play with colors if you like. Drawing is a way to slow down, observe details, and let your creative brain work in a new way. It's not about making beautiful art. It's about enjoying the act of creating. Over time, you'll notice that you start to see the world with more curiosity and attention. The third exercise is brainstorm 5 new ideas for a daily task. This is a fun and simple exercise that can stretch your creative muscles. Every day, take one small task you usually do, like making breakfast, cleaning your room, or planning your schedule, and come up with 5 different ways to do it. For example, if you always eat the same breakfast, think of 5 new breakfast ideas. If you always clean your room in the same order, think of 5 other ways you could do it. If you plan your day the same way every time, brainstorm 5 fresh approaches to organize your time. These ideas don't have to be serious or practical. They can even be silly or funny. The point is to challenge your brain to look at normal things in a new way. This kind of playful thinking helps you break out of routine and opens up your creative energy. Besides writing short stories, drawing, and brainstorming, there are some other very simple and fun exercises you can do every day to wake up your creative brain. These exercises may seem small, but they help your mind work in new and different ways. One easy exercise is to use your opposite hand for daily tasks. For example, if you are right-handed, try brushing your teeth with your left hand. Or if you are left-handed, use your right hand instead. This simple change helps your brain grow new connections because it asks your mind to do something different from normal. It might feel strange at first, but that is the point. It helps you think in new ways. You can also try writing with your opposite hand. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just write a few words or sentences with your other hand every day. This exercise is great because it makes your brain focus in a new way and helps improve your control and creativity. Over time, your writing may improve, but even if it stays a little messy, you are training your brain to be more flexible. Another creative exercise is to change your daily routine a little. For example, take a different route when you walk or travel. Look around carefully and notice new things you never saw before. This simple change gives your brain new experiences and ideas. It helps you get out of automatic habits and opens your mind to creativity. You can also try to give new names to objects around you or imagine new uses for common things. For example, what else could a spoon be used for besides eating? Can it be a small shovel for a plant or a tool to paint with? Playing with ideas like this is fun and helps your brain find creative solutions. These simple daily exercises are easy to add to your day and do not take much time. The important thing is to do them regularly and enjoy the process. Creativity grows when your mind is open to new experiences and ways of thinking. By practicing these simple exercises every day, writing a short story, drawing something, and brainstorming new ideas, you are giving your creative brain a daily workout. You're telling your mind, it's okay to explore, to imagine, and to have fun with ideas. You don't need to spend a lot of time on these practices. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day can make a big difference over time. Remember, the key here is consistency. Just like physical exercise, creative exercise works best when you do it regularly. So, don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect mood. Just start. Make it a small part of your daily routine. You can do it in the morning, during lunch, or before bed. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and soon you'll find yourself coming up with creative ideas, not just during these exercises, but in other parts of your life too. We have now reached the final part of today's episode on how to be more creative and boost your creativity. Before we finish, let's take a moment to look back and remember some important ideas we talked about. Creativity is not just for artists, musicians, or people who work in special creative jobs. It is something that lives inside all of us, and everyone can be creative. Whether you are cooking a new recipe, solving a problem at work, or finding a new way to organize your day, creativity helps you do these things better and with more joy. We learned that creativity means using your imagination to make something new, or to find new ways of thinking. It is not only about painting or music. It is about how you use your mind in everyday life. We also talked about what blocks creativity. Things like fear of making mistakes, negative thoughts, or feeling stressed. It is important to understand that these blocks are normal. Everyone faces them sometimes, and they do not mean you are not creative. The key is to be kind to yourself and keep trying. Then, we shared 5 helpful tips to boost your creativity. Taking small breaks helps your brain rest and come up with fresh ideas. Trying new things opens your mind and gives you new experiences to think about. Keeping a creativity journal is a great way to capture your ideas every day. Surrounding yourself with inspiration, like books, nature, or creative people, helps your brain feel curious and excited. And most importantly, being kind to yourself allows creativity to grow without fear or judgment. We also discussed daily creative exercises, simple activities you can do every day to practice creativity. Writing short stories, drawing or sketching, and brainstorming new ideas for daily tasks are all easy ways to keep your creative mind active. These small daily habits help you see the world differently and find new ways to express yourself. Remember, creativity is a skill you can build slowly, step by step. Now, I want to encourage you to believe in your creativity. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to wait for a special moment to start. Creativity is about trying, learning, and having fun. Every small step you take helps you become more creative. If you make a mistake, don't worry. Mistakes are part of the process. They teach you new things and help you grow. So, trust yourself and your ideas. You have a creative mind inside you, ready to shine. If you enjoyed this episode, it really helps me create more helpful content for you. Also, don't forget to share this podcast with your friends who want to boost their creativity and improve their English. I'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment or send a message telling me about your own creative journey or any tips you want to share. Your story can inspire others in our community. Remember, practice every day, stay positive, and keep coding your English. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious, stay creative. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.